Hello, everybody. Today is Monday, April 10th. Hope everybody had a good Easter holiday weekend. This week is our first week of kind of getting prepared for our final presentations, for the final portfolio, and for the final exam. So make sure you watch the entirety of this video, as this is a very important video, as I'm going to walk you through a lot of big important things to help you get finished with this class. So, first off, we're going to go over our Project 1 presentations. Those are due next week. So as you'll see, those are due by 4/19, so April 19th at 11:59 p.m. So I'm going to walk you through that now. It's been in Blackboard under the assignments. You should be able to see this information I'm going to show you right here. So the Project 1 presentation is going to be a PowerPoint presentation where you're going to be sharing your personal brand, so information about you, or if you're planning on wanting to have a company, maybe this could be a presentation for that company. And I'm going to kind of walk you through exactly kind of what I'm looking for on it, kind of what needs to be on it. So a little backstory on this. When this class was face-to-face, we would actually do the presentation in class and present. But because this is now an asynchronous course, I've shifted it. And so now all this is a PowerPoint presentation. And then you're going to be recording audio of you speaking over each slide. So a lot easier. You don't have to video yourself. You don't have to do any of that. You're just going to record yourself talking as if you're doing the presentation over your PowerPoint slides. And I'll show you how to do that. And it's pretty easy. I've got instructions for that, but it's pretty simple. So here's kind of the instructions. Let me walk you through it. So your presentation has to be at least 6 slides long, but no more than 10. So between 6 and 10. Like I said, you'll be presenting this presentation with audio. So the goal of this project is to share your personal brand, kind of as you would in a job interview. This is an opportunity for you to get practice selling yourself and your identity to future employers, or if you're going to be presenting this as maybe this is your company, you'll be kind of presenting yourself to future clients, right? People that are going to eventually hire you or your company. So your goal is to share your unique set of skills and benefits, because each one of you has something to offer to a business. All the more once you have your degrees. So I kind of want you to practice kind of selling yourself. So kind of think of this in the mindset of, I'm going to be acting like I'm interviewing for, let's say there's this company you really want to work for. Kind of act like this is you kind of selling yourself, right? So obviously here's kind of some things that you must answer, obviously. What is your name? How can you be contacted? What is your goal or purpose of the presentation? So not because you were required to do it for class. So what is your purpose of selling yourself to a company, right? So is your purpose to get a job with them? Is your purpose to eventually become the CEO of that company? Like, explain your purpose for why you would want to work for them, why you would want to work in this industry, why you feel that you are special and that you stand out amongst your peers. You're kind of just selling yourself, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for. So what's that goal or purpose of this presentation? And then in this presentation, in the PowerPoint slides, include part of the branding project with the logos and the business cards. That assignment includes some of that into this. So whether you want to include the business card on a slide, just so that's your contact information, so they have it. You can do that. If you're going to be eventually doing it for a company and you've created the logo and information of your company on there, include it that way, right? So like I said, this is either you selling yourself, like saying, hey, this is me, I want to eventually get a job. This is kind of why I stand out. This is kind of what makes me unique and why I think I'll be good at this and why somebody should want to hire me. Or, hey, this is my company I want to have, and this is why you would want to hire my company. This is why you would want to hire me for us to do whatever your company's going to do, right? So make sure you're doing all that. Your presentation may answer some of these questions. So these are kind of some other things to think about that can help you. What skills do you have that make you unique? What projects have you worked on, either in school or even outside of school, that have really excited you, and why? What would you like to be doing in 5 years? You may also want to consider some information to build your pitch, like how can you impact a company's bottom line? If you're trying to get into an industry or into a specific company, like why should this company hire you? How are you going to impact this company? Like what are you going to do that's going to improve this company the way other people wouldn't, right? How can the presentation be professional and reflect your personality at the same time? What message do you want to leave your audience with? And then how can you stand out from the crowd? So these are kind of some things to think about when you're creating this presentation. But the whole goal is to sell yourself and why you would be a good fit for this company. So if you want to pick like, hey, I want to eventually work for this specific company, you can do this whole pitch directly towards them. That is perfectly fine. If you want to just, hey, I want to work in this industry, you can make this pitch just for why you should be working in this industry. And if you're wanting to do like, hey, I want to have this business and I want people to hire my business, or I want people to use our skills, our resources, our products, our materials, whatever it is your company would do, you can make this about selling your company. So it's kind of either one of those ways, however you want to do it. And I would assume, depending on how your branding project is probably going to reflect that. Because if you did it for a business, you might want to do this for a business. Was if you did it just for you, you might want to think about like what industry or what company you want to eventually work for and sell it that way. So for your presentation, you can either use Microsoft PowerPoint, or if you have a Mac and you want to use Keynote, that is perfectly fine. Either one of those you can do. I'll be able to view both of them. So you can do it in either one of those. And then each slide should have audio attached to it. So as if you were speaking, as if you were actually presenting in class. So to do this, it's really, really simple. In Microsoft PowerPoint, all you do is press the Insert tab, and then there's going to be a little audio button. You're just going to choose audio. And then with your computer, you can press record right there, and it will record it, and it'll automatically be inserted in your slide. I don't care if it doesn't need to be like studio quality or anything like that. So don't worry about how it sounds. I just want to hear you talking, because we can't do it face to face, and a lot of people don't love video. So this is kind of the easiest way to kind of meet in the middle, right? So in PowerPoint, just go to that Insert tab and choose audio, and then it'll let you record. And so then on that slide, there'll be a little audio file button that when it plays, when I'm viewing it, it'll play that audio of you speaking on that slide. So that's how you do it. It's really simple. And then you'll save it as a PowerPoint file or as a Keynote file. And then you'll be turning that in the Assignments tab for Project 1. So that's what you're doing for Project 1. Like I said, this is due next week. So if you have any specific questions, let me know. But I'm pretty open with this. I don't, when I'm listening to them and when I'm doing them for the grades, I'm not focusing on like really specific things. Like I'm kind of leave this open as giving you a space to kind of help practice selling yourself. So whatever you feel fits that, I want you to do. The main things I look for is this. So make sure that you include these 4 things that are must. That's what I'm looking for sure. You want to make sure when you're doing any presentation that you say who you are. You want to leave them with a way to be so that they can contact you, and then you want to let them know what your goal or purpose is of the presentation. I've had a lot of students who have done it, especially when we were face to face, and they did this whole great presentation, but I have no idea what their goal or purpose of the presentation was. They just kind of go into it without telling us as the audience what the purpose of, like, what are you up here to tell me about? And they just kind of go into it with skipping that. And that's a very important part of giving a presentation, is you want your audience to know exactly what your goal or purpose of the presentation is. So that's one main thing I'm looking for, especially towards the beginning, because you want to leave your audience to start with knowing what the goal or purpose of this presentation is, so that they can then try to connect that to what you're saying, right? And then the branding project we just did, I want you to include that somehow. If you're struggling, the easiest thing is put your business card on there somewhere, because that has all that information. And the contact information doesn't have to be legit. If you want to put fake stuff on there, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. I just want you to practice including that actual information. So, because if you're doing it for real, you want to leave them with real information. But for this, if you want to put fake, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter to me. So that is Project 1 presentations. So another reminder, that is due by the 19th at 11:59 p.m. So the 19th is next Wednesday. So you have this whole week, and you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's due next Wednesday at 11:59. So you can get that turned in way before. I will not accept anything late. That's why I'm giving you 3 extra days. So I'm not making it due at the very beginning of the week. I'm giving you till Wednesday. You should try to get it done by the end of this weekend. Just like every other assignment, try to get it done this week and turned in. But I'm giving you a few extra days just in case if you're running behind to get that finished and turned in. So it's due Wednesday at 11:59. Looking forward, our final portfolio submission will be due on the 26th, which if you'll notice that is also a Wednesday. So I'm giving you a couple extra days to get those turned in as well. So that final portfolio, which we're going to kind of talk about next, will be due that following week by the 26th. So for the final portfolio, it is also in the assignments tab. I have 2 things. I have the final portfolio requirements under there. So that, like I said, this is due April 26th. These are the following assignments that must be in the portfolio, which hint, it's every assignment you've done. So it's your collage, your principles of design, and this says color in black and white, just to remind you, when we did principles of design, you weren't supposed to use any color in it, just black and white, because we're going to focus on color when we get down here. So the collage was fine with color. Principles of design should have been kind of black and white and grays. Typography, you shouldn't have put any color in your text, just keep it black and white. Imagery, obviously that's color. Then the color assignment. Then we had your print essay. The photography, where you had the 4 images of yourself, 2 professional, and then 2 could be funny, 2 could be unique, 2 could be professional as well. So you have 4 professionals. It's really up to you. But those 4 images. The invitations project, where you had those 5 invitations. The poster for Utter Frontier, the logo that you created for yourself or for a company you would like to own, the brand alignment, which went with that to do the business cards, the letterhead, and then the envelopes, which was extra credit. I would recommend doing the envelopes because it's really easy extra credit because you've already kind of done everything. And then the charts and graphs was the last assignment we had. So all of these assignments need to be included in this final portfolio. They need to be in this correct order. So start with the collage, next principles of design, and go through, put them in this order. Next, I'm going to walk you through the instructions on how to put this together, but I just kind of want to show you so that you know exactly what this is and exactly what order it needs to be in. Each assignment must be labeled. So the easiest way to do this is when you combine all these together into one massive Microsoft PowerPoint, I would put a slide before each assignment labeling what it is. So like assignment 1, collage, right? Put collage. You might want to put a brief description of what it was. And then on the next slide, you would have your actual project for the collage. And then when that's done, the following slide would be a new slide that would say principles of design, a brief description of what that is. And then the next slide would be starting the principles of design and however many slides it takes to put all those on there. And then the next slide would be a blank slide saying typography and a brief description and so forth, right? So that's the easiest way to do that. The sub-assignments inside of it kind of is referring to principles of design, right? You've got like harmony, you've got contrast, you've got all these different assignments within it. Like each design is representing something different. Make sure you label those as well. So somewhere on that slide you put this is symmetry, this is asymmetry, right? This is contrast. So make sure you label those as well. Color's the same thing. If it's monochromatic, analogous, complementary, split complementary, triad, whichever one it is, make sure you put the label on that slide so that if somebody's viewing it, they know that you know what this is, right? Because you can make a great color harmony, but if I don't know that you know that that's monochromatic, then that didn't really fully answer my question of do you know what monochromatic is, right? So make sure you label them. And then, like I said, you're going to combine all of your stuff into one file. So either if you have access to the full Adobe suite, like the Adobe Acrobat, like not the free one, but the real one, You can save them as PDFs and then combine them that way. Most of y'all probably aren't going to have that, so you can just copy the PowerPoint slides and put them all in one presentation. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that, but that's what we're going to do. So you're going to combine all the assignments together for that final portfolio, and then you'll turn in one presentation that has all the work in it, and that's how you're going to turn it in. And then you'll turn it in on Blackboard. If you have any issues, please email me. If you have any concerns or, hey, this isn't working, email me. Don't wait till April 26th to email me. You should be starting to put it together much earlier than that. If you're finished now and you want to put it together and put it in today, you're more than welcome to do that. Don't wait till the last second. This is, like I said, 40% of your grade. So don't wait till the last second to turn in 40% of your grade, because it's not worth it, right? Turned in. So also under the assignment, I have the instructions for submitting your online portfolio. So I'm going to walk you through that here now. It's really simple. So for most of you, like I said, you've been using Microsoft PowerPoint. So all your files should be Microsoft PowerPoint files, which is great. And so what we're going to do is you're going to copy those slides from your original PowerPoint files into a new one that it is brand new, right? If you use Microsoft Word for something, that's fine. I'll kind of give you some options on how you can do that. So like if you did your essay in Word, which a lot of people do, that's perfectly fine. I'll kind of give you some options on the way to do that. If you use the Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator for stuff and you have access to those, like I said, you can just convert those to PDFs and then use Acrobat to combine them, but the majority of you don't have that. So I'm going to walk you through the way of using PowerPoint, because that's most of y'all. If you know how to do that, or if you have access to this, you probably know how to do that. And if you don't, you need help, just send me an email and I can help you. So to start, I would suggest you're going to create a new PowerPoint file to copy all of your files into. So this is a big starting point that I want to make sure that you do. When you go to PowerPoint, make a new PowerPoint file, and I would save it as Final Portfolio. And then what you're going to do is copy all your work into that. That way you don't mess up your original work. You're not actually editing anything in your original work. You're just copying the slides over into that new one, right? So that's the easiest way to do it. So step one is create a new PowerPoint file. I would name it Final Portfolio, something like that. Once you have that, you're going to open up your first file, which would be your collage. And then you're going to press on that slide thumbnail over on the left, which I'll kind of walk you through this. And you're going to press Edit Copy. And then you're going to go to the new PowerPoint file that has nothing on it, and you're just going to press Edit Paste. And that's going to copy that slide from the collage PowerPoint into your new PowerPoint file right there. And then from there, you're going to keep doing it for all your other assignments. So let me I'm going to open up PowerPoint real quick, and I will walk you through how to do this, just so you can see it. I feel like sometimes it's easier to see somebody else do it, because it's really easy, but if you see somebody else do it, you'll be like, oh, that's exactly what to do. So here is let me shift over. Okay, here is a new PowerPoint file. I'm going to delete these real quick. And then let me open up let me find a PowerPoint. Sorry, let me not there. Let's see. Sorry, I should have had this pulled up. Examples, here we go. So collage. Alright, so that's not working. I accidentally saved them all as PDFs, so let me find one that's not a PDF real quick. Okay, here's one. Okay, so here's somebody's actual portfolio file. It's in Microsoft PowerPoint. So here's my slide. Here's my one that's brand new, right? And here is the one that's open, right? So let's just pretend that this is my collage, right? So here's my slide. So I'm going to right click on this slide and press copy. I can also, with that selected, go edit copy. I'm going to right click and copy this slide. And then over here on my one that's brand new, I can right click and press paste. And that's going to paste in this slide from over here, which is great. And then on this slide, I would probably insert some text. And I would do one collage. And then I can make it bigger, nice, get it all looking right. I can maybe put some information about exactly what it is, and then here's assignment 1 collage, right? And then I can copy this, put it down here, and I can change this to assignment 2. Principles of design. I'll probably put a little information about what it is there. And then I'm going to come over, I'm going to open up my next assignment, which is Principles of Design. Let's just act like this is it. And so Principles of Design is actually a few different ones. So I'm going to select all of these slides, so not just the one. I'm going to select all of them. Right click and copy, and then come over here, right click and paste, and it's going to paste all these in. And just in case you're freaking out, this person put 6 different examples. You only need 1 example. So I don't know why they did 6. You only need 1 example. So don't freak out. Be like, oh my gosh, am I supposed to do 6? No, they for some reason just did. It should be like this. There's just 1. So then you have your Principles of Design, and then you're going to keep going. So then you'll open up your next one, which is typography. Copy that slide, come down here, and paste. Put it there. I would need to insert a slide. Let me copy this one. And then right here, I would paste, and then put assignment 3, and just keep going, right? So that's what you're looking to do. That's the easiest way to do it. So kind of here's an example you can see of somebody what they did, their portfolio. They even put an overview page. You don't have to have that, but they made this little slide for the description of each. So they put the name of it, they put kind of what it is, and then there's their assignment. Then the next slide, Principles of Design, a little overview of what the assignment was, and then they go through, and you notice each one is labeled. Like I said, don't do 6, just do 1 of each. Just kind of like how the balance was. And then they go through all those, and then typography, the typography assignment, imagery. They go through all the imagery, color, make sure they have the label. And then for their essay, they actually linked it. The problem with linking it, like he linked it, but it didn't really work. Turned it in online, so I had to add a copy of it. And then he also took screenshots of it so that it's images. My recommendation for the essays, you can try to link it. There is a linking option that I gave you instructions for, but sometimes that doesn't work. Honestly, I don't care really how it looks. If you want to just put a big box, put a text box and then open your Word document, copy all the text, and come in here and paste all of it onto the slide. You can do it that way. You could just take a screenshot and put the images there. I don't care how you do it. I think probably either the screenshots or just copy pasting the text would be the easiest. You can try to link it, but like I said, if I do this, if you did it right, it actually opens up and works. But sometimes it says that the file is not available. So just keep that in mind. It might just be easier to copy the text or put screenshots of it. And then it goes on for the images, invitations, and then as you see, you kind of just put it all together, right? So that's how you're putting together your final portfolio. So open up your slide, or open up your PowerPoint file, select your slide, copy it in your PowerPoint presentation that's brand new for the final portfolio. Copy it from here, paste it into here. That's the easiest way to do it. Copy the slide and paste the slide. Right? So that's how to do it. That's the instructions I gave you that walks you through how to do that. So all that's there. Things to remember: make sure all your assignments are in the correct numerical order. In front of each assignment, you need to have a slide showing the name of it and then a brief description of what it is. I would make a title slide at the beginning that includes your name, your ID number, and the text DIGM 3353 final portfolio. That way we kind of know what this is. And then make sure that you turn it in by the deadline. Don't turn it in late because it's not going to work. So, like I said, final portfolios due Wednesday, April 26th. You can turn it in before then. And I would highly recommend turning it in before then. Just to ensure that it works. Sometimes these presentations can get, the file size can be not super big, but a little big, and sometimes it doesn't upload the first time in Blackboard. That's why I would recommend don't turn it in at the last second on the 26th, because sometimes that first upload doesn't work. It might time out because it takes like 5 to 10 minutes sometimes, depending on how big your PowerPoint file is. So make sure that you get it turned in before then. Give yourself time so that you can make sure that it does actually submit. If you have any issues, you're like, hey, I've tried 3 times, it's not working, email me. Let me know. If I hear from you before the deadline's passed, I can help you. If you're emailing me on the 27th, like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're like, hey, I had issues last night and I couldn't turn it in, I'm going to be like, did you really? Or are you now remembering that, oh, I never turned it in? Let me see if I can get this turned in late. I'm telling you, it's due this date. You got to start ensuring that you know what a deadline is, because you're not going to make it in the real world if you don't know what a deadline is. So it's due April 26th. Get it done beforehand. If you've tried a few times and it's not working beforehand, email me. Let me know, and I will help you out. But don't email me after the 26th saying like, hey, I had issues. I'm going to tell you, you shouldn't have waited till the last second. I'd rather you turn it in 80% on the 25th and then try to resubmit 100% on the 26th. I would do that. So if you're getting close to the 26th, let's say it's the 25th and you're still not done, turn in what you have. And then that way you at least turned in something. And then on that 26th, that night, try to resubmit. If you want to return it in 4 or 5 times, that's perfectly fine with me. I'll look at the most recent submission. Excuse me. So that's my recommendations on how to do it. If you have any questions, let me know. All of these, so both of those are going to be due first, and then that final exam will come up. The final exam, which is quizzes 7 through 11. That'll open up on May 1st. This is our testing window, and it closes May 2nd. So you'll have 48 hours to get that completed. So set a reminder on that. I will send a reminder when it opens, but you need to make sure to remember to get these done. As of last night, all of the quizzes have grades, so you should be able to go back and see your grades for all of them. So you can go back and look and see what you need to look over to prepare for that. But I wouldn't worry about the final exam right now because you have 50% of your grade, which is Project 1, and then the final portfolio is all going to be due beforehand. So work on that Project 1 presentation. If you're behind on any assignments, keep working on those, get those finished. And then next week, you'll be turning in that final portfolio, and then you'll be ready to go. So that's what we have for this week. If you have any questions, let me know. And y'all have a good week. Thanks.